So we proceeded to sit in the living room for a period. Our whole detention was 11 hours in our home while they went through everything. We were listening as the Health Canada agents were coming in and out and talking in our mudroom with RCMP officers and laughing and giggling like they were at home. But we were here in our home, not feeling at home. How the roles were so quickly reversed by a search warrant and suspicion. How that they would violate my rights and come in here and do what they did. There was 2 police officers that allowed us to know their first name, Sean and Byron. And Sean came up to me when I was sitting on the couch and he asked me, "Do you have a safe in the house?" Thinking, well, I do, but I says, "Yeah, I do." He says, "Well, we're going to have to see where it is, and you're going to have to open it for us." I said, "This is my personal safe. Nothing to do with business in there. It's just my personal safe. It doesn't matter. You're going to have to open it for us." I said, "Are you serious? I don't know if that's allowed. It's allowed." And so I walked him down. What else can they do to me? So I walked him down to our safe in the house. And I was a little nervous, so I couldn't get the number the first time. And the second time, I have 2 police officers, RCMP officers, looking over my shoulder. And when I opened the safe, then I think it was Sean opened the door that led into this room and let in the in-charge person from Health Canada come in with her camera. Sealing is her name, Ann Sealing, I believe it is, and to take her camera and photograph the contents in my personal safe. I said, what do you need to do that for? We have to document the evidence. This is what evidence? I think what you're looking for is, if you're looking for things, is on the list of the search warrant, not my personal items in my safe. But they continued. Then the RCMP officer says, "We're not going to confiscate these items." And I'm thinking, well, yeah, I guess you could have done that too, right? Because you're doing everything else you're not supposed to do. And so I went back upstairs. Everything that I thought I had freedom about was taken from me. I went back to sitting on the couch and looking at my wife and daughter and just amazed at what was going on. I realized also at the same time that when they were coming into our home here, they were actually entering into my daughter's home at the same time. Our daughter's family home, but she has a private residence that she has with a roommate where she has a contract for rent, where her name and her roommate's name are on the contract. And at the same time they were coming in here, they were raiding her personal home. RCMP officers, Health Canada agents went into her home, and when her bedroom door was locked, they kicked it in. They were searching for anything they could find. So when they found that she had a pay stub for working for the company, that was good enough. They took that, and they took whatever else they wanted from the basement. They made themselves feel at home and just took what they liked. Everything was free that day. They had 3 or 4 vans here that they filled up with whatever they wanted. And they went after that to our daughter's home and filled it up, whatever they wanted there. I had a tax refund check sitting on my desk from Revenue Canada. Revenue Canada trusted me enough that they gave me a tax refund because I pay my taxes. I'm a law-abiding citizen. They took my tax refund check. They took other checks off my desk. They made themselves at home. Whatever they wanted to do, they did. When they finally left, they were ready to leave. And I'm escorting them out of our garage, through the carport. I had one of the person that was taking electronic information off our computers. He says, "I had to take all your hard drives." I said, you what? Yeah, I did it carefully. Your towers are still there, but I took your hard drives. I said, but that's personal information on there. In my office, I'm a writer. I have some stories in there. I have things that I was ready to go to publish, and you're taking those, and you're stopping my whole way of earning a living. You're stripping me of everything I can do. In these economic times, you're throwing me out there where I can actually make a living. You're preventing me from making a living. That didn't matter to him. He said to me, it shouldn't take us too long to copy the data. You should have it back in 2 or 3 days. Last Thursday, I believe it was, I got it back. They kept it for 1 month. They sent it back to me in a box. So they stripped the hard drives out of 4 computers. This is the box with my hard drives. My towers are there. They stripped out the hard drives from 4 computers, and this is how they sent it back to me. Thought it'd be good to open it on camera, so there'll be no surprises. Hopefully, it's sent by the Canada Border Service Agency Computer Forensic Lab in Winnipeg. Please open first. So I'm going to have to take it down to a place that can install it properly, make sure they're putting it in the right computer, make sure they haven't stripped information that was necessary for me, and try to carry on and get my life back. The one RCMP officer, Shane, I think, he was the one that seemed to have a heart, and I said to him, I said, do you really know what those products are in the search warrant? And he didn't really know. I said, these are products that you could buy at any health store across in the United States, over the counter. These are herbs. Folic acid is one of them. You heard of folic acid? He says, yes. I said, folic acid is in all our breakfast cereals. It's in most of the foods that we eat. And I says, and they took that because it's 3 milligram, and they only allow you to have 1 milligram. So if you take 3 1 milligrams from any pharmacy here or vitamin store, I'm not saying that we sold these things. This is what they came here to look for. This is what they had on the search warrant that they thought that we had. And when I said to him, I said, these are vitamin therapy products. And I said, you know, if you had your wife or a family member with cancer, and if you wanted an alternative for that, maybe we were offering the alternative to that here. And we're not criminals. Well, you're more like humanitarians, aren't you? I said, that's what we are. We mean no harm. Nothing that we have here, as you found, there's no guns. You don't find product here. This is our home. And I write from my office. This is where we live. This is our protected area. And so I think he started to see the picture a little clearer then. That these aren't because he was a drug officer, deals with narcotics, I guess, all the time. And when you see, these aren't our run-of-the-mill clients that we always get. These aren't the ones that have a stash of cash here and guns and narcotics, and we have to be threatened for our life. Maybe we didn't have to come in by gunpoint. Maybe they would have welcomed us in and says, look for yourself, I have nothing to hide. But we weren't given that opportunity.